Hey, today I'm going to talk about 3 movies that are all at least 2 hours in length. I'm doing a whole long movie thing this month. Whatever. So the names of those 3 movies are 12 Years a Slave, Heat, and Rain Man. First up is 12 Years a Slave. This is a 2013 movie, and hot damn is it amazing. It won Best Picture, and it deserved it to the nth degree. It's so good. So good. If you somehow don't know the premise, it is about a man who's relatively well off, but then one day he gets kidnapped by some slavers and then spends 12 years as a slave, like the name would suggest. It's rough, but it is so well done. It has such a stacked cast and everyone gives incredible performances, especially the main actor. He is just so talented. I'm glad he's had so much success since then as well. He deserves all the success he can get. I also incredibly loved, she just gave such a great performance. Just every time she was on screen, it was so heartbreaking and just so well done. And every single time I saw her, I was like, how can someone be this beautiful? Like, it seems physically impossible for someone to be this incredibly beautiful. How are you real? I've also seen her in Us and Black Panther, and she was great in those, but she was so good here. I would say this is definitely like a must-watch film. You definitely need to watch it at some point. And I was kind of worried going into it that I was gonna be like sad and depressed the entire time, but I really wasn't, because the main character is so hopeful. Like, yes, he's seeing these very messed up things happening, but he still has hope that he will return to his family one day. I was able to ride the high of that hope the entire time. So yes, watch this movie and don't worry, you won't be sad and depressed, though it is very sad and depressing at times. Next up is Heat. This is a 1995 movie starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, my second one of him. The basic premise is Al Pacino plays a cop who's a little fast and loose with the laws, and he is tracking down Robert De Niro as he does a bunch of robberies. It's a very cat and mouse type of movie. Whole reason I wanted to watch it is because my friend JP has a weird obsession with this movie. I don't know why, he just does. So I figured I'd check it out sometime, and today was some time. I thought the movie was fine. I wasn't really blown away by it. I'm not really huge into movies that kind of elevate police towing that legal line in order to catch the bad guy. I think that encourages a lot of bad behavior amongst police officers. I'll definitely say though that this movie felt bloated. It was like 20 minutes into the movie, I was like, I can already feel this movie has too much going on. There are just so many plot lines happening all at once. I think it would have worked a lot better as like a limited series, like a True Detective type of thing. They could have let a lot of the storylines grow. Like one in particular, Natalie Portman's in this movie, it's her second movie. I loved her performance in this, but I could definitely see people being really annoyed by her because she kind of just does somewhat annoying kid things. But with the extended length of a miniseries, we really could have developed her character more to see more of why she's kind of on the verge of a mental breakdown. As for Pacino and De Niro, I think De Niro did a much better job in this movie. It wasn't like his best work, but it definitely wasn't by any means his worst work. He gives a good performance. Pacino, I feel like he's just playing it over the top the entire time, and I was like, dude, just settle down. It's okay. And I get that that's his character, but it's still just, he could have played that less cocaine-y and it would have been fine. That all being said, I still enjoyed this movie. I definitely don't regret watching it. And lastly is Rain Man. This is a 1988 movie starring Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. It also won Best Picture the next year. The basic premise is that Dustin Hoffman plays an autistic savant. So he has a disability, but he's crazy smart at the same time. Tom Cruise plays his very much younger brother. I really didn't care for this movie. Tom Cruise's character takes way too long to start to grow, and it's very clear from the beginning where his character is gonna go to, and he just takes him most of the movie to get there. It's at least half, if not 3/4 of the movie before he starts to be like, oh, I don't have to be an asshole this entire time. I could be a good person. I think this movie started the trend of A-list celebrities playing characters with disabilities in order to win big awards. The thing that Robert Downey Jr. made fun of in Tropic Thunder. I don't know. It's upsetting that that was a thing. And I mean, like, Dustin Hoffman did a good job in this role. It's just, it could have been done better by a person who's actually autistic. Like, I am glad that this movie paved the way for people, you know, being more accepting of autistic people and also just understanding autistic people better. It definitely did that. I don't know. To me, it just felt like it didn't go far enough. Like, it needed to be what Peanut Butter Falcon is. That movie is incredible. The main character is an actor with an actual disability. The movie was actually built around his abilities. The writer and director are best friends with him, and so they crafted that story to fit his abilities, and it works so damn well. And I can understand that this movie served as a stepping stone to get Peanut Butter Falcon, but I honestly think this is a movie that it's okay if time forgets it, because it's... Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got 12 Years a Slave sitting at number 15 in the really liked category. Again, it was one that, like, I connected to it a ton, but not as much as the ones above it. It's so damn good though, and just, And then after that is Heat, sitting at number 103 in the like section. And then not too far behind that is Rain Man, sitting at number 112 in the meh category. And this is out of a total of 147 movies so far this year.